First order of business, if any of you guys like Breaking Bad, then I'll put a link in the description to the Breaking Bad countdown time clock that I found online, and it's at 29 days and like 7 hours right now. But this video is gonna be about it's gonna be about how recording yourself talking and talking to a camera and recording it is a good way to sort of grade yourself. And it's good practice because I'm a lot more comfortable in front of the talking to the camera than I was in my first video. And what you gotta practice in front of the camera is you have to, as you are talking, be aware of your thoughts and be self-aware of everything around you in the present tense. You have to practice calming your mind and focus on the conversation. You can't let your brain go towards all these negative thoughts, because that's what's keeping you from knowing what to say and knowing how to respond to each question or statement. You're not focusing on that, but you should be. But what you're focusing on is being judged, and that mental focus dictates your social ability. So it's good practice to talk in front of a camera. You can go back and see how good you did. And maybe it'd be even better practice if you asked the camera questions. That way you sort of get into the practice of asking questions and making statements. Those are the two main social cues. You also have body language. You posture, your body language, you have eye contact, you have whatever emotions your face is showing the other person. But the game is to practice being self-aware of all those things and sorta juggling them. The best way to do that is to clear your mind, and the best way to do that is you can meditate, and it'd be a good idea to get unaddicted to the internet, because that's probably the biggest thing that screws with your mind is TV and internet. Maybe we should focus more on physical activity and hobbies that are outside of electronics. Anything that stimulates the brain in a positive way. But negative stimulation is internet, or maybe the type of music you listen to. A little heavy metal is okay, but if that's all you listen to, it's gonna hurt your ears, and it might make people angrier than they're supposed to be. But when you're recording yourself, just maybe it'd be a good idea to have a checklist. You can go off, you can read it at first, you can go off, say, what's my eye contact, what's my facial expression, do I have a clear mind? You can go down the list and check off to make sure you're doing all that and you're focusing on the present tense. And that's about it for now. And talk to the camera like it's the other person, and you can focus in your own room, peace and quiet. Hopefully no one can hear you, but find somewhere where you can't be disturbed, so you can focus all your attention on practicing this. That's about all you can do in the practice stages. after you get that down pat, you have to go out into the real world and talk to the real folk. But in the early stages, maybe you just focus on practicing conversation and maybe a few audio books on the subject. It's very important to get as much information on the subject as possible. So read up on it, about it on the internet, and get every single book you can find at your local libraries, and illegally download them on audiobook if you have to, because it's more important that we conquer this anxiety. And don't forget, ask questions to your camera, because the two basic things are question and statement. So when someone asks you, you answer them, and then after that, you have to follow up with either another question or another statement. Otherwise, the conversation's over. And the easiest conversation killers are yes and no. Sort of, or okay, sure, sort of one word statements like that. You wanna, after you answer the question, you insert the ball back, like my speech therapist woman that I used to have did the analogy of tennis. After you answer the question, you have to hit the ball back to the other person, so you have to continue the serve with question or a statement. And be mindful of your thoughts and your emotion and your behavior. Both of those, be consciously aware of both of those, and it would be better to sort of take on the personality of a robot than or like an emotionless character, like Spock, where he doesn't get his emotion involved in the conversation. And Spock is a great example of that. Another example would be 007. He's calm and collected in the conversation. Alright, see ya.